Before we begin, thank you very much to Tyrannicus for pitching in over on Ko-fi. I think Tyrannicus attempted to do the convoy size joke, but didn't actually apply a size, so it kind of got lost in the mix. But there's the shout out. Thank you very much for the support. Always appreciated. Hey, let's do a news roundup. I know, crazy idea that that's how we would start the week for Transformer videos here, but you know, I'm just in the mood. So we're going to talk about everything that happened in the world of Transformers over the last week, and I will admit we're pretty low on first party news. However, Hasbro's partners have shown off a ton of really cool stuff, so that's going to be the majority of the back end here. But we're going to lead off with a few cool things like Adamus Machina's Lost Light Rodimus. Someone's got it in hand. This thing looks incredible. So if you missed out on Adamus Machina Rodimus, it's based on the Flame Toys exaggerated version of the IDW design, which means it looks incredibly, incredibly cool. And the engineering and design on this thing is absolute absurdity. The only thing I can compare it to is like the most ridiculous of third-party toys, and not in a bad way. It's Takara doing third-party style engineering, and it's a really, really well done figure. I've got it as the original Rodimus. I don't know if I'm going to go all in for like a second one, despite how cool the color scheme looks. They have been trying to get Black Rodimus to be a thing for the longest time, and I don't think anything ever really stuck or made sense. IDW's take on it was that this color scheme represented basically a vow to take revenge, essentially in that universe, to kill Getaway. However, it burned off during the scene where he saved Getaway, because Rodimus is the good guy. Even in like a fit of revenge, he's not going to be that merciless. Anyway, good story, good use of the color scheme. Yeah, and I mean, it's a cool color scheme. It's very Decepticon, which makes it interesting that he's still very much an Autobot here. But yeah, this toy is very, very impressive. I love the new deco. Seeing his classic weapons in different decos is interesting. There's the different, man. It is a stark difference. Man, if it, like, in that color scheme, you would be able to convince somebody it wasn't a Transformer. That, like, this is just a mecha from a completely unrelated franchise. Because it looks it, right? Yeah, there's the vehicle mode. The vehicle mode is, like, very Batmobile coded in those colors. That is actually really cool. Yeah, it's a really sick color scheme. It's just an expensive toy. So like, that's probably not going to be on my radar, but it is really, really cool that we're getting another run of that toy. Okay, moving on from there, we go from a really cool toy to a really disappointing one. So we got in-hand shots of Nexus Prime from Age of the Primes, and he basically continues to be what you would expect. He is as plain and ordinary as you have seen. Okay, I really want a comparison shot with the rest of the Primes. Can I get that? Oh god, that's cursed. Oh no, that is cursed. He looks like a Mardi Gras performer. Oh no. But yeah, you can see its compatibility with Silverbolt's frame, which means, yeah, it's likely the frame they're going to use to make him a full combiner next year. See, there he is with the rest of the Primes. And this is what I was afraid of. Excuse me if I drink water. I just finished a stream. Go follow Agent Magnetar over on Twitch. My voice has kind of had it, so you'll excuse me if I'm trying to keep it from failing on me. But yeah, like, this really does kind of like highlight the concern I had with his super bright color scheme. He just doesn't look like he fits in with the rest of the Primes at all. I really wish the red and the blue were a lot more muted. See, like Alpha Trion has some purple to him too. That's kind of bright, but it's a muted shade. It's not like vibrant purple. You know, it brings it down a notch. It's okay for him to stand out and be a little bit different, but he stands out in a way that feels like he doesn't belong in that toy shelf. Okay, Didn't expect that. Confirmation doesn't fit in the Menasor torso. It only fits in, again, and here's how it fits in with the Superion. That's the only way it works. Which makes sense. You know, still, the toy itself does have like neat functions to it. I just don't think it looks good in any of those functions. I don't know. It just seems like a lazy kind of slapdash attempt. And we've talked about this over and over. We don't need to go over it again. Yeah, I'm more looking forward to seeing what they do with it next year and how they expand on this, because it really just does not seem to fit so far. That's just my opinion, though. Let's take a look at the upcoming studio series Transformers 1 Thundercracker. Actually, after with Transformers 1 tanking at the box office, I'm kind of surprised they're continuing with toys based on the series, but it's a retool of a Seeker. And actually, like, honestly, it's actually pretty heavy retool based off of the original Starscream. So I actually do give this one a lot of credit. Thundercracker is a little bit unique here, as he is in Transformers 1, visor eyes instead of the individual ones. For instance, chain guns on the shoulders rather than the traditional, like, thin null rays. I believe those shoulders are buffed out from the original Starscream mold as well. Let me get a comparison. There's a difference in the vehicle modes. You can see the swept back wings instead of the reversed ones. He's lacking the tail fin that Starscream has. That's a little weird. So Starscream's weapon is super weird because it incorporates that tail fin piece, but it's weird to see the jet mode without it, especially with just a big vacant gap on top. I mean, the vehicle mode still doesn't look bad, though. Let's say that. Okay, no, it is the same shoulder pieces. You can see the differences, though. Like, aside, like the wings and the head being the major ones. I do like how the different paint applications here does give it a very different profile than Starscream, which is really, really neat to see. I like when paint has that trick to it. You can also see he has a Decepticon symbol, which Starscream beforehand does not. Or is that or is that just paint? Might just be paint. Oh well. Still, neat retool. I'm not crazy about the mold, but for anyone who is, this looks like it's going to be a good version. And of course, this is probably going to be what's getting repainted into Skywarp, because they, of course, do all three of the Seekers. All three of the main Seekers, at least. So I don't normally warn about these things, but Walmart CollectorCon is on March 26th, and it is going to feature these two, which is Star Eagle, the patriotic repaint of not Air Razor. Actually, no, that is the Air Razor mold. I'm getting them backwards now. I was trying to remember if it was Air Razor or Skywarp. It threw me off for a second. Doesn't matter. It's the Eagle repaint of that figure that is not actually an eagle. And then more interesting is the Breakaway soccer ball transformer. Those will be going up for sale on March 26th. The listings are live, though, if you want to go ahead and take a look at those. Both I'm whatever on. You know, I've seen that Air Razor mold so many times, I don't need to own it again. I'm curious about how the soccer ball functions, but I'm not a big soccer guy. So, unfortunately, that's going to be one of those. If I see it at the store and have nothing else to buy that day, that's going to be one of those type purchases. Looks neat, though. The way it functions looks neat. I can't take that away from it. But yeah, just a heads up, those are going to be available soon. There is a really fascinating interview that was posted on medium.com, and it has to do with a very unsung section of Transformers, which is the Euro G1 era. So there's a very long article here written by James Roberts, and it includes a lot of historical information about Transformers continuing in Europe and how it did so even after the American market decided to shelve Transformers. So, and why the game Uno is responsible for the reason that Transformers still exists. So, something that the article actually does mention is that the international rights to Transformers is still a Takara licensed thing. And if, by some chance, if they had stopped producing Transformers, the license would have reverted to Takara completely, meaning no more Transformers. So it is likely they could not have pulled this together. We would not have Transformers today, and it would have just been a dead toy line, once we hit the early 90s. So this is fascinating read. It's a very long read, however, which is why I have not dedicated anything more than a news roundup to it. So please go find the article over on TFW 2005. Go click the link. Go read it for yourself. It is a really, really interesting read about a really unusual time in this franchise's history. Quick little update. So the TFW 2005 articles and updates for Cyberworld are always out of date because I'm pretty sure they're not paying attention to the kids' mini cartoon on YouTube. But this suffice to say, episode 23 and 24 are online, but more importantly, episode 25 is. So if you're keeping up with the series, you got a new one to watch. I really hate how this thing is uploaded, by the way. They constantly re-upload episodes as gigantic episode compilations. If they get like 2 more episodes made, they'll upload a brand new compilation of every current episode. They will tack old episodes onto the end of new episodes. There is no just like playlist of just here's the 5-minute episode 1 followed by a 5-minute episode 2. Which would make sense. No, instead, like these episodes are uploaded 8 or 9 different times across various re-uploads. It's a very weird uploading scheme they've got going. But, whatever. There's another episode to watch. It's a Grimlock focused episode. So, I know people out there are going to like that. Okay, we're going to go into the partner section of the news roundup now. So, Yolopark, we're going to start with them. They're showing off their Optimus Primal. We saw this last week. Now we have some full official teaser images showing off function. Looks like he's got his masthead, his rockets, his forearm guns are in, his sonic blades are in. Just about everything you'd want out of an Optimus Primal is here, which is super, super cool. And it looks very well articulated. This looks like a really, really good job of taking the animation model right out of the cartoon. Very, very nice. I like this a lot. I like this better. So we're also getting the Dinobot out of this. So if you want an articulated Dinobot that doesn't have to worry about transforming into something, which is the reason why so many of them come out looking weird, here you go. Here's a ideal take on Beast Wars Dinobot. Now, we also have this where they showed off how Dinobot works. I believe it's a full video, like even showing off, like the blade spins. He actually has like the shield blade. I still hate that all the swords are purple. They're only purple because of the chrome lighting and the scenes you're basing these off of. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, it's a really, really cool figure. Yolopark does fantastic work. We've worked with them plenty of times in the past here on the channel, and you can just tell how much detail they've layered in, how many different parts went into this, how articulated it is. It's a really incredible job. I'm looking forward to this Dinobot a lot. Now let's move into Blokees. So Blokees is not to be outdone. They are teasing their version 2 of their G1 Optimus Prime, but also showing off their Prime Optimus Prime, who looks absolutely fantastic. This is another series. Prime is another series where I am very much an advocate of give me non-transforming figures that just represent the characters from the show. Because I don't love Knockout for the cool sports car he turns into. I love Knockout for just being this like adorably gay evil robot who's very egotistical. I like him for the character. I want good representation of the character, which is something the toys keep failing to do. I have to buy Transformers Red to get that. You know how nasty I feel getting Transformers Red anything? But a Blokees I would take. So I'm hoping the Prime ones do really well. This Optimus Prime looks really, really good. We don't have any other photos of it. It's just the initial teaser. I'm sure we'll see more from it soon. But we're also teasing this. In their champion class, which I believe are the even bigger ones, we are seeing their Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. And again, that Bumblebee is a design I advocate non-transforming figures for. That way we can make it movie accurate. I really do not like how the studio series Bumblebee movie Bumblebees look. They don't look like him in the movie. Even the retool they recently released doesn't really look like how he looked in the movie. Model kit. That's fine by me. That's absolutely fine by me. Also, I can't afford the third-party Bumblebees from this movie. So, give me an affordable one that could stand on a shelf, please. Moving on to their classic class. These are their more standard size model kits, I believe. Looking at Sentinel Prime from Dark of the Moon, who is looking, the way you expect him to look. The evil jerk that he is. Speaking of, here is Blitzwing from the Bumblebee movie. Blitzwing is still iffy. Like, he really is just Starscream with a mask, isn't he? Like, everything about him is Starscream. You stack him in front of any Transformer, like anyone who is not like intimately familiar with this brand and just knows like the household names, they're gonna say it's Starscream. No one's gonna say that actually looks like Blitzwing. But we also have these really nice images of Sentinel Prime. And you know what? Hey, bastard of a character, but he looks good here. They did a really good job of getting his character across. So you Leonard Nimoy fans, you're eaten. And then here's Blitzwing again. Still so weird. Starscream with a gas mask on. I still do not understand this completely. But hey, for more people who want more from the Bumblebee movie cast, here you go. Doesn't look bad. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, I've always taken issue with the design, but I don't think that looks like a bad representation of it. Blokees teased the next Defender versions. These are the smaller kits. So, yeah, I'm super excited for this because it's Beast War's second Galvatron getting any kind of love and attention. I love that design. I need a brand new toy of that design so badly, and yet we still do not have this. My dog is very angry in the background at something right now. I don't know why. Point being, I'm gonna love having a little one. Oh, and here we have Rodimus Prime. We have a Rodimus Prime as part of the next Galaxy version. Yeah, they still make really good stuff. Like, I just got a hold of their Metroplex, one of the ones I wanted from the new set. Now I need the Triptychon to go with it when that set comes out. Yeah, still love all this stuff. And on the other end of the quality spectrum, you have Super 7's reaction figures, who have decided another wave of blind boxes for their little reaction figures. I hate these things. I genuinely hate these things because they seem incredibly expensive for just how, I don't know, barren they are as action figures. You get, okay, fine. Like, they're supposed to represent like old Kenner toys from the 80s and late 70s. No, these things are ridiculously expensive for what they are, even by the blind box. I hate these things. So yeah, you're getting a Sound Blaster, another run of their Megatron and Optimus Prime, a Grimlock wearing short shorts. I don't know why. I guess Diaclone color, whatever. But then you have the chases for Optimus and Megatron. Because we can't add any kind of variety to this line, apparently. I want to say because it's different from how the box looks that this is the chase. And I have no idea what this is. I don't know why Megatron is in pastel pink and blue. I don't know what the extra bits of deco are. It doesn't look good. I don't know what the silver-headed Optimus Prime is either. This looks like a cheap knockoff. Is it like tongue-in-cheek supposed to look like a cheap knockoff? Because it does. This is why I don't like Super 7. This is why I do not like this line. And this is why I'm ending here before I get angry. So, That's it for your news roundup. That's everything that happened in the world of Transformer news, and I thank all of you for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.